Alright, what is up guys? This is Lee's Automotive. So this is a factory Ford water pump with 267,000 miles. There's the leak coming out of there. So basically what I gathered was I was having a little bit of a puddle like right there from this dropping down onto the crank pulley and then onto the stabilizer bar and then hitting the ground. What I figured out was as this was dripping, it would hit about right here, and when it would drip down and it was running, it was hitting the sensor, which was causing a slight mess even at load. I've heard from a lot of people that it's normal for these to have what is almost counted as a slight misfire, but not a slight misfire at idle because of the low idle speed these are set to, which is I think 650 or 656. But that was not the case actually. What happened is this, you can tell it's been leaking for a while. I mean, and it even sounds funny. You can hear it. It just sounds funny. It just sounds funny. It's done. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this entire thing apart, change the water pump with another factory Motorcraft water pump. I mean, this one lasted 267,000 miles. So of course I'm going to go back with Motorcraft because if it lasted that long, the next one should last just as long. But in reality, you really shouldn't replace them unless you just start having issues. I've heard a lot of people say change them every 50,000 miles. Not on Fords, of course, but on other vehicles. Excuse me. But I wouldn't, to be honest. Also, I've noticed my alternator has a sound. So I guess I'm going to have to replace that soon too. I mean, that's great. It's right by Christmas time, of course. But anyway, what I've gathered here is this is the culprit of the leak. I thought it was this because I had replaced it. Which, I mean, it does look maybe a little damp in there. I can't tell, to be honest. But I'm going to pull this just for my own sanity. Because taking it off is a bear. So I'm going to take it off. Go ahead and RTV the whole bottom. Fellow member owned the Explorer form had done this. He actually has a supercharged Explorer, 4-liter single overhead cam, beautiful Explorer, beautiful build. But he actually got the aluminum thermostat housing and he sealed it up with gray RTV. I'm pretty sure it's the water pump RTV. I'll post below in the description to verify that. But what he did was he RTV'd the base, put the gasket where the gasket goes on the bottom of this housing. He RTV'd that entire base, then put the gasket, of course, on the housing and put it down and torqued it down. And it hasn't leaked at all. He also took the entire housing apart and glued it shut with RTV just so it would not leak. So basically what I'm going to do is do the same. I don't see anything wrong with this vehicle other than the water pump leaking. I mean, what you can see is it's been leaking a while, to be honest. It looks like the leak was either, it was coming out of there too, but it was also leaking up here. You can see the line right there. It's been leaking right around there too from that hose. That's nice to know. That means I'll be taking that hose and putting a different hose clamp on it. Just so I don't have to deal with this no more because I'm getting a little sick and tired of dealing with antifreeze leaks, especially when tomorrow night's going to be around 8 degrees and the wind chill's going to be around negative 22. So it does get a little old working on these kind of leaks and all of that. But I mean, as you see, coolant's bright green. I keep the maintenance up on it. I've just changed all this stuff. New upper and lower hose. I did get a comment on my YouTube video. I think it was YouTube, or no, my bad, it was Instagram. Someone asked me, why would you delete the metal pipe? Because the metal pipe basically makes the coolant pressure better. It's supposed to keep it at 16 psi instead of like 14. Here's my answer to that. One, that is false. Two, this hose was cheaper. I'm not going to sit here in front, it was cheaper for me to order this. But the biggest thing is the metal pipe I have was rusted. That pipe goes anywhere from $150 to almost $230 for that metal pipe that goes here. So this is from a 2001 Explorer with a 4-liter. On those motors, the valve covers are plastic. So you have the valve cover like where the oil would go. Your oil fill neck is on this side instead of the driver's side of the motor. It's on the passenger side. And this had like a little sleeve that goes around it, and it would wrap around it and just wrap around the fill. So that was the only difference. I mean, the intake was different too, but that was the only big thing different. People complained about that. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. If I thought it was going to hurt the vehicle or cause any issues with drivability, I would have done it. I mean, this is my daily driver. So yeah, another question I have for you Explorer guys. I'm not sure if it's the factory rad. It don't look like it. It looks new. I've never changed it, but isn't this supposed to be a 2 or 3 core instead of a single? I do not have the, I guess they call it the towing kit. I have the bumper hitch, but I don't have the actual tow package. So I'm not sure if there's anything wrong with that. If it is, let me know. I've asked some people, and they've said they're not sure. A lot of people I've asked said they already have the bigger radiator because they have a tow package. So I'm not sure on that. But yeah, I just thought I would show what I'm doing today. Dealing with a coolant leak. And I was also going to do the front chain. But I decided to leave it alone. I've talked to a few members on the Explorer forum that said, some said do it, some said don't. Eventually I will. I mean, this motor has 267,000 miles. I mean, it's at 267, 366. I mean, it's up in mileage. It's all original motor, trans, rear end, everything's original on it. Up until recently, the shocks were original until I changed them. So, I mean, yes, I could replace that chain and not have any issue. But here's where I'm coming from. If I take this timing cover off, and there's pitting by chance, I actually run the possibility of not getting a good seal and getting engine oil and coolant mix, and that's not good. Also, I don't want to dump antifreeze in the oil because I just replaced this. Like, literally, this oil is not even got 100 miles on it yet. It's literally brand new Mobil 1, full synthetic 5W30. So I really don't want to ruin that. Plus, it's got a nice filter on it, too. There's a lot of things that I do want to do to this vehicle. I'm still draining antifreeze. I'm trying to make a mess on this ground because we have animals around here. But, yeah, I mean, I don't want to tear things up. There's no reason to. I mean, you can hear that. And I've been hearing a moaning sound. Like, not gonna lie, I've been hearing a moaning sound, and I thought it was just the engine because it's been cold. That's what I've been hearing. And I bet if I spin that fast enough, I'll hear something in there. I mean, actually there is play. Not much, but I can feel it. Like, it's a tiny bump as I do that. So yeah, it's worn. Another thing I noticed today, in between here, there's a wasp nest that I got to get off the condenser, or it's on the radiator, but it's in between the radiator and condenser. Like I said, everything's original. I mean, that's the AC compressor. That's original. The receiver dryer looks new, but I bet it's original too. I mean, everything is nice in this. Alternator's not original, but this came out of a 97. So yeah, it's old. And it makes noise. That's nice. That's real nice. I didn't realize that alternator was going bad. I know I did a video on a replacement. A lot of people were confused about that too. I did a video, replaced the alternator on it. Beautiful alternator. It was a 200 amp. Put it in though, and it didn't charge for crap. Battery was dying at idle. A lot of people said, well, you're supposed to drive the vehicle and you're supposed to, not let it idle long. I hate to break it to you, but if this vehicle was bought and it was brand new and it had an alternator from Motorcraft that charges the battery with no issue, especially at idle, I'm going to keep it that way. I don't want to have to drive the vehicle. I do a lot of auto repair, detailing as well. I also do other stuff such as yard care. So I need an idle vehicle, especially in the summer. We get well over 100 degrees here. I'm in the south, so it gets very hot down here. So we have to leave the vehicle running sometimes, especially if I have drinks in it or if I have, certain equipment like aerosol cans. You can't leave that stuff hot. You have to keep that stuff cool, and it has to be brought in by the end of the night. So I do idle this a lot. Another thing I have a question for you Explorer guys. I'm not sure if y'all can see it. This is the power steering pump pulley. A buddy of mine on the forum, really good guy, he said that in one of the videos I sent him, he could hear what sounded like to him as a slight power steering noise. Is this pulley supposed to spin freely? Or is it supposed to be tight like that? I mean, because the AC compressor, which doesn't sound the best either. And no, that's not leaking anything. That is actually antifreeze. I mean, that sounds good. The clutch, I'm not going to play with the clutch, to be honest. I don't want to tear it up. But this is the brand new tensioner. I'm kind of like ranting or even over here, I guess. But I just thought I would show, different stuff. I'm always doing auto repair, but I don't usually show the build. Also, another reason this has to be pulled out is because the knock sensor. See the harness right there for it? Yeah, I changed that guy. Changed him. Thought it was going to work perfect. No. I put in a Standard Motor Products instead of a Bosch, and I have a knock sensor code. And I do know at full throttle, the time is being retarded. It's being retarded in advance backwards. Or I guess forward, I don't know how they do it. It goes either up or down. But my 0 to 60 time is like 9-10 seconds instead of like 6 and 7, where it usually is. I don't usually do 0 to 60, runs all the time, but when it acts funny, I do, do the old Italian tune-up to get it moving and hopefully fix the issue. But yeah, other than that, there's not much more I need. Maybe if somebody can tell me where to find this stuff at, that'd be greatly appreciated because it's a mess. But other than that, yeah, I'm going to get this water pump out of here before it gets cold and rainy, and we got snow tomorrow night, so that sounds great. I'm going to leave y'all with that. Thank you for watching Lee's Automotive, and y'all have a great day.